Hello and welcome to another episode of EMA Cloud Rants. Today, Internet of Things. Seamus, you are the networking guy, right? The networking ties it all together. What are the key challenges in getting devices connected today?
I'm doing research on this right now. I'm sending out a survey soon. We're going to get some input from network infrastructure teams. But there's a lot of stuff that's a challenge. First of all, limited network connectivity. A lot of devices are moving. A lot of devices have limited power footprints, so they need low power network technologies as opposed to standard network technologies. And visibility is a challenge. A lot of network infrastructure professionals say they lack insight into the devices that are connecting to these networks sometimes. Those are just to name a few. IoT protocols, there's a lot of heterogeneous protocols, a lot of them proprietary, some of them standard. There's multiple standards organizations. Mm-hmm. So how do you translate those protocols when they go from the network to the cloud? Hit cloud-based IoT applications. It's a big mess.
John, from a business perspective, from an insights perspective, there's a lot of upside to this once Seamus has solved his horrible network problems, right?
So yeah, once you're able to connect to these devices and bring that data in through a gateway or direct connection to your backend system, you're able to get operational visibility into what those devices are doing to say what is their status, their position within a process, and then how they're operating. But then as you collect that data over time, you're able to start to get into those bigger and better use cases associated with IoT, like preventive maintenance, management of these particular concepts. But yeah, there's a lot of value. You start out at that operational visibility level that says, how is this working within our company? How does it make our processes better and faster? And then as you collect data and aggregate it, you now have that historical potential to say, this is when this particular device or piece of a thing, if you will, is going to possibly fail. Let's make sure we manage that appropriately, and or how do these things all work together in concert? I think that's one thing we hear a lot about gateways, and Seamus, I know this is a big part of your practice, but from the perspective of that only shows me visibility into those devices that can see that gateway or communicate with that gateway, not the wider population of devices that you would get at the back end.
That's something else just occurred to me in terms of challenges. Security is one I should not have left out. Security is a huge issue. I mean, we've seen it's top of mind in the industry right now with the hack on DNS infrastructure by the Mirai exploit. Being able to a lot of things do not have the capacity to support standard means of security. They can't encrypt or decrypt communications, and a gateway is one example of an important opportunity of introducing security into the chain of things. But also just maintaining the software, making sure the software is secure, and new vulnerabilities aren't discovered. I mean, most of the manufacturers who are going to be producing these things don't have a legacy of secure software development or patching vulnerabilities. So that's a huge issue, and a lot of that's going to fall in the network.
Yeah,
and this is absolutely a big piece of my research as well that said, whenever people were given that opportunity to talk about where do they consider some of the pitfalls with IoT, security is one of them. And I think that large denial of service attack that was used by smart devices that had been left at their default state, and someone figured out the password for that, enabled those, and then you have problems with that. So you're exactly right, Seamus. So security is going to be a big part of IoT, particularly if we start to allow the devices to act on their own. We don't want people not just hacking them for outbound, but we don't want them hacking into them either.
Right. And there's really, there's enough stuff for another James Bond movie, right? We already saw it in 24, where they hacked what did they hack? The nuclear power plant and a bunch of other things. it's great, right? I have this conversation with my parents. They come to our house and say, "Wow, from the door lock to the to your toothbrush, literally everything is connected," and it's actually true, right? But it comes at a price. It comes at a benefit, but it also comes at a price, and the price is security and privacy. It's a big deal here. So I think we are at the end of our 5 minutes here, and this was another episode of Cloud Rants, of EMA Cloud Rants today about Internet of Things. I'm sure we'll have many more on this very same topic. Thank you, John. Thank you, Seamus.